Hey, and welcome to the Jet Experience. Today, we're at a very special event, the 2019 Los Angeles Auto Convention, LA Auto Convention. As you can see behind me, we're here to check out EVs on the market. We've got a lot of EVs that are expected to be here. Even Tesla's got a booth. So we're going to walk around and see what other cars they have. I know right over my right shoulder here is the 2021 Kia Soul EV. We're going to go check that one out and see what they got. So come along and join us on this experience. So over here, it looks like a concept. It's a Kia Habanero. Obviously taking inspiration from the Peppers, and right next to it, it's got a giant EV. Let's get out a little bit. Certainly a very futuristic looking vehicle. It's the 2021 EV EX. Range, we're talking 243, all electric range. Let's see, charge time DC fast 75 minutes for 80%, and 240 volt level 2 chargers 9 hours 35 minutes. As far as looks, it's very Kia Soul. Looks like they didn't change the design very much from a traditional Kia Soul. So here's the inside, the hatchback storage of the Soul EV.
Oh, that's really deep.
It's pretty deep storage with where it'll have the charger and the flat tire kit. Obviously not going to be any type of an actual spare as most smaller cars and especially EVs are doing these days. Yeah, as I already mentioned, very Soul inspired. They didn't do a lot of changes on the actual design of it. Declan says there's plenty of room in here. So with what looks like the front seat all the way back right now, as they're keeping it back for people to get in and out.
Oh, wow. So this is
I'm not tall, of course. I'm 5'6", but I have leg room up to the seat. So if you're 6 foot tall, it might not be the greatest, depending on who's driving.
See,
look at all the headroom.
And yeah, there's a lot of headroom. I can tell more so than when I sat in my driver's seat. I'm normally hovering at the top, so this is quite a tall vehicle inside, and unlike your average car, it stays level all the way back, since it's kind of a more almost squarish boxish shape on the vehicle. So here's the inside of the Kia Soul EV. For anybody who watched our Niro video, very Niro-ish in here, which makes sense. They're both Kia EVs. So this is very familiar looking to me. You've got your kind of storage area up here with USB, and then your 12 volt, some kind of side panel storage, parking brake, drinking. This, it looks like, I estimate that probably a 9-inch, 10-inch screen, very rectangular, very nice. Very similar screen for the instrument cluster. Of course, this is all the way back, so it's much further back than I would have it. But all in all, it's a very sleek looking interior. I especially like it in the lighter color. Recently been kind of shying away from darker interiors. Here is the Infiniti QS Inspiration concept car. It is their version of an EV. It's, from what I can see so far, very unique interior. Very unique center console that's almost floating. It's got shag carpet on the bottom and 4 very futuristic inspired bucket seats. It's a very long, looks like about a 2-foot instrument cluster screen with a very futuristic inspired. Let's listen up.
The Infiniti display, our fully electric, fully autonomous QS Inspiration. This is our concept vehicle, and while it is not in production, it is meant to inspire the possibilities and really push the limits of what's possible. Because Infiniti takes a lot of pride in being world's first in our technology and development. For example, back in 1990, we created the fully active suspension. Now, fast forwarding several years, we introduced the blind spot warning, forward emergency braking, and now our VC turbo or variable compression ratio engine that's available in our Infiniti QX50. Ladies and gentlemen, that was introduced as a concept 20 years ago and is now available on the 19 and 20 models on that vehicle right behind you. So what you see here is a combination of our past from our ever-flowing lines. It's a shout out and a nod to our original Q45 that you see on the display there. The front end is meant to look very similar with a futuristic look. We call these the ever-flowing lines because it's meant to look like it's moving even though it's standing still. And obviously we're combining our luxury with our bucket seats in every compartment. Every seat's going to be an executive seat, our floating center console. These are some of the designs that we're pushing for, and you might see these available in our vehicles moving forward. So if you're just joining us, this is a fully electric, fully autonomous, self-driving concept that Infiniti has introduced. We're very excited that we're showcasing it here today in Los Angeles, so please take as many photos as you like. This is a truly one-of-a-kind vehicle, the only QS inspiration in the world.
Tucked away back in the corner in the Mercedes section, they have the Mercedes EQC, and I kind of like what they did with the Q. Makes it just kind of look like a power button. Looks like kind of a mid-size to a smaller size SUV, just a little bigger maybe than a Nero. I don't think we can actually get in. Let's see if I can get some decent shots inside. It's quite a nice looking car on the inside. It's a combined screen on the top, probably about 3 feet long. Instead of having a separate screen in the middle, it's just one continuous all the way across the dash. It's high enough where it could almost be considered a HUD, except it looks like there is an actual HUD right there. It's got the kind of the classic, typical Mercedes kind of touchscreen mechanism in the middle. And the back seat looks pretty spacious. Apologize for the reflection of me. The windows are all up on this vehicle right now. And then just right behind it, they've got the GLC plug-in hybrid. Now, albeit not an EV, but I couldn't help but show this car. They're calling it the Mercedes Simplex. Kind of a throwback to the very first years of cars. Here is the Lexus LF30 electrified. Definitely a concept. You can see it's got basically one singular Falcon door. We'll wait for it to rotate around and then we can see the inside. It's a very unique front. I can see this parked in a driveway right next to the Cybertruck. It's very hard to tell in this video, but that's a very, very angled, continuous windscreen. Now we start to see it coming around. I'll try and zoom in a little bit so we can get the inside. That's definitely an aircraft-inspired yoke-style steering wheel.
I might have been going in cars at the time. Yeah.
The center screen, you can kind of see it, or the instrument cluster screen. It's very projectorish, hologramish almost. Here is Volkswagen's EV. From here, it already looks like a Model 3 screen on the inside. The door handles look an awful lot like a Model S. They've got basically this continuous LED light bar almost that goes all the way around, which helps blend in the door handles as they're right in line with that. As it comes around, let's get a shot of the interior. It's a very sleek interior. It's a very single line type instrument cluster right behind the steering wheel with a Very familiar looking center screen. And here we go. It is the ID Space. Continuing that one continuous light bar across the back, of course changing it to red. They've got a small little advertisement for the new Disney Pixar movie Onward, and they've got the van that's going to be featured in the movie. So just outside of the West Hall, they've got the Bollingers, the B1, which is more of the SUV, and the B2, which is the truck version. We'll get a shot inside real quick. That is an interesting concept, very bare bones and very traditional steam gauges, if you will, as opposed to the flashy, shiny LED screens. And a very interesting concept is it opens up from front to back on the B2, and the B1 does it as well. The front drops open, as you can see, all the way through. Let's focus on it. Continuous all the way through. And for us, the star of today's show, the all-new Ford Mustang Mach-E. And then here's a white Mach-E.
That's just like LA, you know? I mean, there's like... Afternoon, LA. My name's Tyler.
So right on the inside of the Porsche exhibit, they've got 99X Electric, the Porsche Formula E team. This is a very neat looking race car. And as expected, they have the Porsche Taycan on display. They have a white one and they have a very baby bluish color as well over here.
Yeah, like Tesla, yeah.
Take a quick look on the inside here. It's going to reflect a little bit. Oh, there we go. So the screen is really low in it, and then of course I've got an instrument cluster screen with the very traditional analog Porsche clock right on the top. So that was our experience of the LA Auto Show 2019. It had quite a few really nice EVs in there, some concepts, autonomous driving cars. Those will be interesting to see as they start to kind of come out and be a little more than concepts. Definitely got to see the Mustang Mach-E up close. And after being able to now see it in person as opposed to just a reveal, pretty much cemented that that's likely going to be our next car. So we can't wait for that to come out. Hope you liked the experience. If you did, make sure to give us a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel and join us on our next experience.